is they're not when you account for error. And here's why. Here's why. Okay? So let's just go ahead and put, we'll put 50% here, 60, 70, 40, 30, and this is percentage. So 68%, which they've got up there in their poll, or 64, whatever it is. 68%, I started with 64 though, didn't I? Let's go with 64. You put 64 on this graph, and 64 is right there. The problem is, when they say 64, they don't mean exactly 64. They mean 64 plus or minus the margin of error. So that 64 might be as low as,
60.
what?
60 or 60.
And it might be as high as
68.
64 plus 4%.
How's the box plot?
64, it looks like it, doesn't it? Oh, this is minus. So that's a 64, yes? So that's what, you can't say it's 64%, you can say it's at least 60% and at most 68. Clearly 100's nowhere near there, but you were joking too, Michael, that was good. But then I asked you to be refined. Okay, what number would be too far away to not be considered 64 anymore? Okay, so the first one I heard was 68, right? If you slap 68 up there, 68 is going to be right here, yeah? The problem is, guess what that 68 has to have applied to it too?
Plus minus 4.
Plus or minus 4%. It also, that error goes to the entire poll. Every number on the poll has a plus or minus, oh yeah, every number on the poll has a plus or minus 4%. So a 68 that's mentioned in the article is not 68, it's at least 64, but as much as 72. And you see, the problem is, I don't know where within those bars the actual value is. I'm just almost 100% confident that it's in the bars. So isn't it possible that one of these blue numbers is actually lower than one of these red numbers?
Yeah.
If you were on the low end of this bar, that could be lower than the high end of this bar. It could also go the other way. They could also be the same. So when you're reading the news, and they say, Obama's approval rating is below 50% for the first time since February. It's at 49%. You have to call Gallup and say, did you ask every single American? And they go, no, of course not. And then you say, well, how could you say it's below 50%? Because the margin of error on your poll is plus or minus 3.
And then they'll hang up on it.
And 40, this won't even get this long, because you want to actually talk to somebody. But that's the point, is that 49% has to have a plus or minus on it. And chances are, the 49% plus or minus, whatever it is, gets it back above 50 on one side. That is the answer to how close gets, Brittany. You have to be within a margin of error, and that's close. If you're outside of a margin of error, you're not close anymore. Statistically, definition of close. And this is what everybody uses in research and things. That's why your question's so good.
Well, what had brought me to ask the question is when it was, the ratio was like 1.44 was the answer. What if it was 1.3? Well,
How far is, and the thing is, all I have set up here is the predicted for the output. I will build you for Monday the slope margin. I don't have the slope margin built in a spreadsheet. I'll build it for you for Monday. Cool? Yeah, so what Brittany's question is what should we have on that 1.445? That 1.445 clearly has a plus or minus 2. I just don't have it indicated on the spreadsheet. I'd rather than have you sit here and watch me do it. I'll bring it right back for you on Monday. I just sent myself an email at the break to do that, actually, because I knew that's where you're getting at. But this is more general in that, and Jerry mentioned it, when you read a poll, this is how you have to go to the bottom of the poll. And guys, friends, when you look at these polls, I want to show you where it lives. I want to show you where these margins live, because they're painful.